they are forcing men to raise somebody else's child. 90% cases found out that the child was not theirs. 7 out of 10 women are cheating. And then Supreme Court goes, you cannot order a DNA test. Why? Any child that is conceived by a woman is assumed to be of the husband. This is basically abuse. I have stopped paternity tests. We have seen families disintegrating in front of our eyes. So what? Why do you give help to women who suffer domestic violence? That also breaks up a marriage. That also abandons the children. Why do you allow that? How many of men do you think are raising children that is not theirs?
Paternity fraud. किसी आदमी की वाइफ उसे धोखा दे दे और वो अपने बच्चे का बायोलॉजिकल फादर ना हो, जबकि उसे लगता है कि वो है. इसको लेकर सोसाइटल एटीट्यूड्स में भी प्रॉब्लम है.
Chad, it's not a societal attitude. I'll be sure it is, but like he didn't highlight the main problem with the system. Chad, do you know there is an evidence that in Indian law which dictates that any child that is conceived by a woman while she's married is assumed to be of the husband, even though man is not the owner of wife's sexuality. Women are allowed to cheat. 7 out of 10 women cheat in marriages, right? So 7 out of 10 women are cheating on their husbands, which is legalized by Supreme Court. Then we have this Evidence Act, which says birth during marriage is a conclusive proof of legitimacy, meaning she can sleep with another man, right? And this article states the fact that any person was born during the continuance of valid marriage between his mother and any man, or within 280 days after its dissolution, the mother remaining unmarried, shall be conclusive proof that he's the legitimate son of that man. So they are basically forcing men to raise somebody else's child. Do you know how it gets worse? Chat. Look at this article. Do you know what this article states? Of the men who went to do a paternity test at a DNA lab of their child, 90% cases found out that the child was not theirs. In nearly 90% of the cases, the sample do reveal the child in question is not related to the father. The men opt for it when they want a divorce to choose on here and harbor doubts about the paternity of the children. Women seek the test to prove that the child was indeed fathered by the person. In an alimony case, there are far more requests for prenatal testing, which we decline as we do not wish to be party to ending life in a case the family decided to abort the child in case of negative tests. Another article from 2014, forensic lab finds love cheats in 98% cases. The official added that average age of the child in such cases ranges from 10 to 12 years they've been raising somebody else's child. When physical resemblance to parents start appearing, that's when they become suspicious, okay? It is an expensive affair costing more than $35,000 on an average. Even if you could do this test, it is unaffordable for majority of the men. Imagine 7 out of 10 women are cheating. You can't even afford a test, even if it was allowed. We have seen families disintegrating in front of our eyes. In a couple of cases, women were pleading so much that we even went for a retest just to be sure. The worst hit are the kids who witness divorces or bitter legal fights. Now, chat, this is where I have a problem. What I'm about to read right now. It says, chat, let me know your thoughts on this. It says, I have stopped entertaining private requests for paternity tests after a father abandoned his daughter when the results proved negative. It was a heavy burden on my conscience. Chat, this test is no more legal. If you went to a court asking for a DNA test, let me see if I can show you a proof for that. Court denies DNA test of a child to father. Supreme Court says cannot order DNA test of child to prove infidelity charge. Chat, you try to explain to me how is this fair? And this guy, the entire narrative that families are being destroyed. Do they not see that families are being destroyed when women are cheating? Why did you legalize that? Do they not see that families are being broken when you allow divorce? Why do you allow that? Why do you give help to women who suffer domestic violence? That also breaks up a marriage. That also abandons the children, right? They lose both of their parents in the home. Why do you allow that? This is basically abuse. You're having a father raise somebody else's child while women is gaining from it. Why is it that women are allowed to be saved, but men are not allowed to be saved? Then we're just throwing them under the bus just to keep a family together. Think about it, chat. 7 out of 10 women are cheating. How many of men do you think are raising children that is not theirs? And then Supreme Court goes, you cannot order a DNA test. Chat, this is like asking somebody to score 100 marks on a test which is scored out of 80. How can you get 100? And then Supreme Court would say, yeah, prove adultery if you don't want to pay maintenance, but you're not allowed to get a DNA test. How can you prove adultery, chat? Truth is not much important these days. Yeah, no, it's not because see, chat, the problem is that other people have started making rules for for us. We can't make rules for women. It's women's choice, whatever they want to do, but they can make rules for us. So paternity fraud is not a small matter. Now my problem is that, Chad, this guy didn't cover it. He just went right over it. He didn't mention that it's a law issue or it's a rights issue. He just
पैटर्निटी फ्रॉड, किसी आदमी की वाइफ उसे धोखा दे दे और वो अपने बच्चे का बायोलॉजिकल फादर ना हो, जबकि उसे लगता है कि वो है। इसको लेकर सोसाइटल एटीट्यूड्स में भी प्रॉब्लम है। टॉक्सिक मैस्कुलिनिटी वाला जो सवाल
he's just moving on.
वो इस आदमी का मजाक उड़ाता है ये कहते हुए कि ये तो अपनी पत्नी को काबू में भी नहीं रख पाए।
Secondly, he just moved on. He just didn't give any details that how it's a legal issue and how men are suppressed. Do you think he knows and he isn't telling them, or he just doesn't know this?